Before you issue another RFP and spend tens of thousands, perhaps millions on the wrong tech, find out the 8 steps you need to know to virtually bulletproof your IT RFP and stop wasting millions of dollars and your precious time. An RFP isn't just a procurement form, it's a business critical tool. In 2025, Canadian businesses are expected to spend over 42 billion, that's big B, on digital transformation. But if your RFP is vague or generic, you're going to get weak supplier responses, inflated pricing, and solutions that just don't fit your business. Here's what you need to know: why your IT RFP strategy really matters. With inflation, volatile exchange rates, and geopolitical trade risks squeezing budgets, your RFP process has to be airtight. You need structure, you need clarity, and you need a strategy that aligns spend with business outcomes. I'm going to walk you through the exact 8 steps I've used over 35 years and thousands of RFPs to help companies buy better, faster, and smarter. Let's go. The most common pitfalls I find about what goes wrong over my past 3 decades, I've seen 5 mistakes wreck RFPs over and over again. First, vague or poorly formatted requirements. Number 1. If you're not clear on what you need, suppliers will just guess, and you'll waste weeks, if not months, untangling responses. Number 2, no supplier market research. If you're not vetting your supplier list, you'll either get garbage responses or none at all. Third, too few bidders. When you don't create enough competition, you give away all your leverage. Fourth, poor scoring models, especially when price gets all the weight and value gets ignored. And finally, no internal alignment. If stakeholders aren't engaged early, the solution will not fit and adoption will suffer. These are fixable, but you need a process. So start with strategy. Every great RFP starts with one thing: clarity. You need to define the business problem you're solving and the context behind the project. What's broken? What's changing? What are you trying to achieve? Start by writing a clear problem statement, then add your company and project background. Finally, define what success looks like: metrics, milestones, intended outcomes. When you do this right, you help suppliers understand how their solution will drive value and how they'll be measured. Too many RFPs skip this part or leave it too vague, and it shows. Suppliers end up guessing, and what matters, or worse, they pitch solutions that don't move the needle. When you start with strategy, you attract better suppliers and you get better solutions. 2, engage your stakeholders early. Too many RFPs are created in isolation. The IT team writes them, procurement sends them out, and no one else sees them until it's too late. Big mistake. The most successful RFPs I've led involved stakeholders early, sometimes before we even decided on the project. You need input from IT, finance, legal, cybersecurity, operations, and more. Each brings a different lens, including risk, budget, compliance, and real world operational needs. When you do this, you create alignment, and that alignment saves you later when it's time to negotiate, implement, and roll it out. Projects with early stakeholder engagement have fewer surprises, less resistance, and way better outcomes. Step 3 is defining your clear requirements. If your RFP asks vague, open ended questions, you'll get vague, open ended answers. That's a recipe for confusion. Instead, structure your requirements. Group them into 3 categories: must have, nice to have, and future capabilities. Then list each as a question with a yes, no, or other format. Or in the case of software, out of the box, customization, or third-party applications, or none at all. You want suppliers to give you clean, consistent responses. This lets you compare apples to apples. No fluff, no filler, and definitely no 100-page sales pitches that say nothing. The goal here is clarity for both sides. The more structure you provide, the more accurate and actionable the proposals will be. Step 4 is about opening up your RFP to competition. Here's the truth. If you only invite suppliers you know, you're doing it wrong. Yes, incumbents may be safe, but safety doesn't equal better fit. Great RFPs are competitive. They include supply market research, they scan the market for emerging players, and please don't issue your RFP to just 3 vendors because that's what we've always done. Broaden your reach. Look for suppliers with proven results in your sector, including in your requirements, even if they're not on your radar yet. This is how you get innovation, better pricing, and way better outcomes. Step 5 is about using a scoring model with appropriate weightings. Scoring should never be a guessing game. Every RFP you issue should include a clear, transparent scoring model. I recommend something like this: 40% for technical and functional fit, 30% for pricing, 20% for experience and references, and 10% for legal terms. It's not one size fits all. If you're a regulated industry, maybe security or compliance gets a heavier weight. The key here is to prioritize what matters most to your business. And please don't make price the only thing that counts. Low cost doesn't equal low risk, and a poor fit will cost you more in the long run. Step 6 is about running a tight process. A great RFP is like a great project. It needs structure, deadlines, and discipline. First, publish clear timeline and stick to it. Include milestones for Q&A, submissions, scoring, and demos. Next, use a Q&A log so every supplier gets the same info, anonymized so that everyone is playing from the same song sheet. No backroom answers, no one-off clarification. Everyone plays by the same rules. When scoring starts, evaluators should review independently, then come together to collaborate. This reduces bias and drives consensus. Remember, the process isn't just about fairness. It's about protecting your business and making defensible, auditable decisions. Step 7 is about shortlisting and workshops. Now you move into the workshop or presentation phase. Take your top 3 to 5 suppliers and invite them to do a demo, but not just a canned sales pitch. Give them real data or actual use case scenarios that reflect your business and your problems. See how their solution performs and ask hard questions. Clarify any proposal assumptions, talk about pricing, clarify licensing, support, and SLAs. This is also your chance to assess fit, communication style, long-term partnership potential, the resources who will actually be working on your account. Only after these workshops should you decide who gets to be invited to the negotiations phase. So, step 8 is negotiation and strategy. Too often teams rush from selection straight into contracting without a plan. Don't do that. Take the time to build a negotiation strategy. Know what levers you possess, who the supplier's competition is, timing, total spend, when's their year end, how's their sales guy doing, or girl. And prioritize your terms: SLA performance, one-time fees, recurring licensing, price caps on renewal, renewal terms, liability, exit clauses. Structure the contract to protect your business, but also to foster a collaborative relationship. A good negotiation is a balance of risk and reward, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. So now let's talk about what's changing in 2025 for IT procurement. If you haven't updated your RFP playbook in the past year, you're already behind. AI is transforming how suppliers respond, and not always in a good way. More generic chat GPT generated proposals. That's why your questions must demand evidence, scenarios, and tailored answers. Second, watch out for SaaS renewal traps, auto renewals, hidden price escalations, items that were no longer included now but were included originally. Vague terms are budget killers. Third, cybersecurity. We're ramping up Bill C-26 and industry specific regulations. Your RFP needs to demand proof of compliance. SOC 2, ISO 27001, zero trust. And finally, ESG. If your clients care about diversity and sustainability and governance, your suppliers will need to prove that they do too. Finally, takeaways and next steps. Let's wrap this up. A successful IT RFP isn't just about picking a tool. It's about protecting your budget, your timeline, and your reputation. Structure matters. Strategy matters. Stakeholder input, competitive sourcing, smart scoring, and strong contracts, all of it matters. And the risks are only growing. AI, SaaS traps, cybersecurity, ESG, they're not optional anymore. If you're planning a major IT investment, start with the right process. Head on over to ProcurePro.ca or subscribe to the IT ProcurePro on Substack. You'll get access to exclusive templates, checklists, webinars, and weekly insights. Let's build smarter RFPs together.